It's the growing season approaching very soon, so today I'm going to continue talking about the seeds which I'll be sowing this year. So this one is going to focus on the squashes, the chilies and tomatoes and the herbs that I'll be sowing this year. Let's start off with the tomatoes and peppers. We've got Chili Big Jim, if you'd like to come a little bit closer. There we are. Chili Big Jim. And as the name suggests, it's a big one, and I've never grown it before, but I like big ones. So there we are. And it should be quite hot. Oh no, medium to hot it says. So there we are. Pepper Californian Wonder. This is what you might call a bell pepper. Very sweet. I've grown it in containers for quite a few years now. I would say we had one year where we got an appalling crop because we put them in containers which were not well drained. In fact, there wasn't any drainage there at all, and of course the soil then ends up waterlogged, and that's not good, especially for peppers. On to the tomatoes. I decided to go for a yellow one this year, so we've got Golden Queen, and it's a yellow heirloom variety, which means it is old, basically. I'll probably go into heirloom and heritage varieties in another video fairly soon. Ventura Chico III. I wanted a plum variety, partly because it reminds me of something I used to grow with my dad on his allotment, and this is a plum variety. So there we are. It's an Italian variety, and it's fairly early apparently. Marmande we've grown before. It's a beefsteak variety, and it's quite a small version of a beefsteak variety, if that makes sense, and so good for using to put in sandwiches, easy to slice and has a lot of meat to it, if that makes sense. Alicante tomatoes I found last year to be the best ones for making sauces out of. It says here it's very popular, I can understand why. Good flavour, medium-sized fruits. Tomato red pear. Well, it's sort of a plum variety, isn't it? Except it's not. It's a pear variety. I wanted to grow something slightly different. All of the tomatoes and peppers will grow in containers this year, because we found that if you grow them outside or outside in open ground, I think they don't produce quite as much, because if you grow them in containers, their roots are stressed, and with tomatoes and peppers, you want them to reproduce, because it's the tomatoes and peppers themselves have the seed in them, so you want the roots to be slightly stressed and think, hey, we better create more seed. So I think that's why we get more of a crop in containers than we do growing them in open ground. And of course the container keeps heat in as well. That's my theory anyway. Squashes, cucumbers. We normally grow cucumbers anyway, but we wanted to grow Space Master because you can grow them in hanging baskets and you can grow them in containers. There we are. That says it's a cucumber. In fact, it's a cornichon, which that's the French name for gherkin. This is Cornichon de Paris. I've never particularly liked gherkins, but I like to try and grow something odd. Last year we grew 2 plants of those, and they both died. So this year I think we'll put them in a better position. Another thing we grew last year that didn't come to anything was pumpkin jack-o'-lantern, and didn't come to anything because none of them pollinated. We had a massive plant, great looking, fantastic, no disease on it or anything, but it didn't pollinate, which is another reason why we're growing those bee attracting flowers, which I mentioned in yesterday's vlog. Melons. I like melons, and so we're growing some melons. Last year again we had a problem with pollination. I think it's something that happened, well, it is something that happened across the southeast of England particularly last year. Apparently there were much lower levels of bees, so a lot less pollination of things going on, particularly of squash plants. Last year we grew this variety, Minnesota Midget, and melons, and beautiful plant, very attractive looking plant actually, I thought, but no fruits on it. Market Moor cucumbers, they are the normal sized plant, and growing in open ground, and they've been very reliable for us over the last couple of years. Courgette Nero di Milano. I just like courgettes. You can't go wrong with them, really, can you? Because even if they don't produce quite as much as they normally do, they still produce a very high yield. Squash Hubbard Blue. Never grown that variety before. Can't tell you anything about it, except that it's blue and apparently it looks very attractive. Squash Cornell's Bush Delicata. Green and white striped squash, very good for storing over winter, which is why I've been growing it. I thought it was very good when we grew it one year and had a good crop from it, so I thought we'd do the same again this year. The herbs, we will grow in special herb containers that we've got out there. Rosemary I like, coriander, cilantro. The word cilantro means for leaf, so that shows that this particular variety produces a lot of coriander leaf. Sage I like as well. Can't say I've grown it successfully, but we'll try again this year. Parsley, forest green, very leafy, got a lot of flavour to it. Basil dark opal, yeah, I like that one. And we've got common thyme, as in the normal thyme that you use for seasoning, and that you can put, in containers. This one, which I've just put onto a wet paper towel, which was a bit of a mistake, so the packaging is wet, but I don't think the seeds inside are. I hope not, anyway. This is, as you can see, purple creeping thyme. This is the thyme that we're going to sow indoors and then plant out at the end of the garden to create a thyme lawn. As it says, it's creeping thyme, so it creeps across, and it should create a thyme lawn in front of where our bench will be, and you can walk on it, and it produces this beautiful smell, and it still recovers quite quickly after it's been walked on. It's almost as resilient in that sense as grass, and you can harvest it as well. Anyway, so I will conclude this little seed talk tomorrow, in tomorrow's vlog. Thank you for watching this one, I really appreciate it, and give it a thumbs up and a like, or whatever you call these things, and subscribe, that would be really good. Would appreciate that for those who've subscribed so far. Thank you very much. And also, if you can take a look at the thing in the doobly-doo down below, the link is there to the Garden Report Tumblr blog. So there we go, and thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.